Shuichi finds Shuichi finds Shuichi's hat and puts it on. He sure does, don't he? Good day, good people. Another fine day in the year of the Resolve. Toon Link Dave, Bravo Dave, Anomaly, the Anomaly cards. We're taking a little trip back to December on this day in February. Welcome to the, wait for it, didn't have to wait too long, it's the Danganronpa Hunger Games. So, first and foremost, I don't know if you guys remember the Rumbles, but boy howdy were they some Rumbles. In December, late December of the Hunger Games, this season was still going on, but we are going to remember, commemorate, and celebrate every competitor except for one because he's trash, who made it into the Rumbles this year. And of course we'll celebrate, you know, everything that happened in these Rumbles, and the top two competitors who were not already in the premiere will be going on to that premiere to start off, to kick off season 16. You know how this is at this point. If you don't, welcome in. I don't know how this is the first episode that you've come on to, but hi. We got Gatekeeper, who came in at number 1, and Makoto, who came in right after him. One day Makoto will catch a break. Maybe next year he'll be 30. Maybe not. But Makoto's gotta be in the Rumble. We gotta see where he ends up. Joe, followed by Dr. Maruki and Mondo, followed by Buff Deuce, Shuichi, followed by Cassius Bright, Godot, followed by In, Mitarai, followed by Asnir, Rindo, followed by Psykiller, Ito came in, followed by everyone's favorite Steve Harvey. Taka came through as well, as Yuma popped in as well. Fulgent came through. Aku went in and went right back out. Kyutaro was hanging in there, so was Nekamaru, Cord, Yosuke, and this is where things started to really, pick up in terms of the final few storytelling. Gin, followed by the Great Gozu, Skull, Gundam, and Iroh, who had been training Gin for this Rumble. The final three was a fantastic Gundam, Iroh, and Gin, and boy was it a rumble between those three. It came down to Iroh and Gin in the final two, and man, you just remember it fondly. You remember it fondly. Let's go on, and we see the March Rumble. We call it the March Rumble, not because of the month, but because of our winner. We have Teto, L.A. Knight, who had a little fun starting little match there, and then Mew came in and immediately clotheslined LA Knight out of the match. And Mew, I think, is just saying, I need some more spotlight, and she's probably gonna get some in the future. I know Wins Davies got eyes on Mew. Official came in next with Kana, Noelle, and Iris to follow. Shantae made a fantastic AWE debut, followed by someone who had a matchup with her. Arrow. They dueled it out in a triple threat match with one other person, but Arrow was the one who came out on top of that one. Bowsette came in and the world was shocked. Susie came on through there. Sayori, Nimona, Miss Clea, Pomni was a shock to the world, as well as Crazy Oak Large, Raiden, Mana, Chisa, Heather sweeped in there. Queen, who didn't have the most spectacular performance in the Rumble, however, has used that and turned things around and delivered some momentum. You see Queen today, actually, tonight, or technically maybe for some of you tomorrow, because, you know, time zones, yippity skippity. Queen is going to be fighting the person who's beneath her right now, which I think is really, really neat. As we carry on, we have Noelle, Holiday, Maya, La Senora, Toph, Sarah, Camilla, Hilda, March, and Cynthia, who came in and also essentially went right back out. March 7th, in the final few, somehow, someway, in her very first match, took the W. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to Gin. But that was a hot minute ago. While Gin could become tag team champion this Saturday at Valentine's Violence, who's gonna win this match today and head to the season 16 premiere? Let me know in the comments, first, second, and third. And I think it's time I start tasking you guys about the questions in the comments again. I'm not gonna ask about Valentine's Day because I know how a lot of you spend Valentine's Day with Stream AV doing something that was it was I peeked at it a little bit. It was something. The Dotori dating some. Better him than me. But now we're not way past Valentine's. It's still Valentine's week. In fact, people are still probably not spending, practicing, celebrating. That's the word that you do with holidays. No holiday. You were supposed to help me out. It's a holiday. You should help me. Still celebrating their Valentines over the course of these days. I know a lot of people just wait for the weekend to celebrate. That's how we'll be celebrating this weekend, Valentine's violence. Yeah. What's your well, I feel like we've asked what's your favorite candy a lot. I was gonna ask specifically Valentine's Day candy, just because I don't know if I think one of the AVs have mentioned it because we all enjoy this thing. There's these like strawberry milkshake M&Ms. they slap. They slap. I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna find some, I'm gonna make sure that I see them, and if I see them, I'm just gonna clear out because they'll be on clearance, and I was like, they're all mine. All of them. They're mine. Sucks to suck. Anyone want these? They're still here? Nobody? Okay, well, I'm taking the whole box to the register. Bye now. That's what's going to happen. That's it. That's what should have happened last year. I had them for the first time on clearance last year because I was like, I'll give these a shot. They're cheap right now. I should have bought them all. Regardless, let's take a step back and ask you guys a real question. What's your favorite pasta? You know, all the time I'm like, are you ready? Do you enjoy spaghetti? Let me know. Is it a spaghetti? Is it a lasagna? Is it a gnocchi? Or a gnocchi? What is mine? Is it a rigatoni? And mine might just be a lasagna. Maybe I'm Garfield, but I'm not Monday AV. Well, I guess I don't hate Monday AV either. He's pretty dope. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with a lasagna. Cause that's something you're like eating for like the whole week too. Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm cashing in lasagna. I'm cashing in right now. I'm opening up the little thing here, clicking the button, deal, lasagna. That's what I got. What's your favorite pasta? Let me know. Yeah, let me know that. I think we're just gonna get ready to start. We have to resimulate, and that's cool, I guess. So here's the thing. I haven't seen Pablo or Asner. Asner's in this game, but I haven't seen either of them at all. Oh, not. I mean, I saw them earlier this week, but I haven't seen them since Thursday. So that's a little concerning, but I'm sure they're not up to no good. So instead, you know what I have to roll? Oh, we gonna find out. It's nothing. I did not prepare for this inevitability. What do we have here? You know what? Here, you can't see my mouse, but I will go up and down on this page, move my mouse around. I'll move my mouse around here, and I will select this person here. Okay, that's a lot of people. Who's the last person that was selected? Noelle. So however many times however many eliminations Noelle had in the Rumble. Luckily it's 1, because it could have been 0, I just realized. That's how many times we're gonna resimulate. Thank you, Noelle. Big preach on that. So just a single resimulation, we start this game. And you can see one person is missing from the men's Rumble. We don't acknowledge UK Aviator. Hit our 1 resimulation. And let's go. We love the UK. The UK is fine. The people there, they're fine. But like UK Aviator, he's let's proceed. Yes, shall we? The cornucopia is replenished with food, weapons, memoirs from the tribute's families. Actually, it's not replenished with any of those things, but the horns are sounding. So I mean, like horn bearers. If you could replenish them when you guys leave, that would be great. So if you could, thank you. Look, I'll even pay you guys for replenishing the cornucopia. Thank you. Big preach. Most excellent. Haha. Alright. That being said, let's actually proceed with the game. And also let me move this out of the way so I don't knock it over, because I've almost done it like 3 times. Gundam runs away from the cornucopia. Gatekeeper decides to head back to the cornucopia to look for supplies that could have been left during the bloodbath, but when he finds the middle of the arena, it's the horn bearers preparing the cornucopia for the feast. They're pulling double duty now. Mitrai opens back of gum. La Senora, Klee, and Noelle appear from out of nowhere and ask for a piece. Out of nowhere, like an RKO. Sarah takes a shotgun from inside of the cornucopia. Teto kills Psy Killer with a sickle. You fiend. Nijima grabs a backpack, now realizing it's empty. Raiden runs away from the cornucopia. Marsh seals Fischl inside of an explosive barrel, rolls it over to Maya, shoots it. Maya dies in the explosion, but Fischl somehow makes it out unharmed, unscathed. Makoto, L.A. Knight, Taka, and Yuma share everything they've gathered before running. Pomni runs away from the cornucopia. Buff Doof runs inside of the cornucopia and hides. Joe grabs a shovel to bury some talent. Sayori takes a loaded shotgun, fires at Hilda. Hilda sees the pellets approaching in slow motion, dodges each and every one of them. Godot scares Steve away from the cornucopia. Camilla and Asnir bury Fulgent in the snow and leave him to die. Fulgent, oh man. Sing a sad song, my boy. Crazy Yoko Shalage gets down on one knee, proposes to Kana. Kana accepts, and the two happily skip away from the cornucopia. Ribbon finds a book titled To Cook Nimona, Beginner's Guide. Nimona's book, amazed and horrified at the level of detail within this book. Shuichi can't remember who he is. Heather tries to help him remember. I'm pretty sure Shuichi's getting set up right now. Set up, and Heather's gonna use him to win the game. Iroh grabs a jar of fishing bait while Shantae grabs the fishing gear. Noelle finds a talking Komodo dragon. The reptile says to Iris that Asnir's placed a curse on her, and the only way for the curse to be broken is for Noelle to kill her. Oh, there was a chance that Asnir could have. I guess there's still a chance Asnir could get this. Noelle reluctantly obliges to kissing Iris, turning her back to her normal self. Unfortunately for Noelle though, that kiss was venomous. That girl is poison. Well, I guess venomous. They're two different things. Cord acts antisocial and refuses to introduce himself. Mondo is beaten to death with a chair by Gen. Maruki refuses to fall into despair. But Skull doesn't refuse to fall into a pit and die. Cynthia seals Rindo inside an explosive barrel, rolls it over to Cassius. Cassius dies in the explosion, but Rindo somehow makes it out unharmed as well. Toph clutches for his aid kit and runs away. Gozu, this has actually been a fairly bloody bloodbath. Gozu rips a mace out of Kyutaro's hands. Bowsette decapitates Mew with a sword. Nekomaru is the elusive option 11. Ito enters the arena via skydiving and finds a vision in the cornucopia. Why would the Archons leave something like that here? Suzuki strangles Chisa with a rope. Aku ignores the opening ceremony, playing video games with Yosuke instead, and backed by unpopular demand, Mana is here, and that was just the bloodbath. A day remains until we get to your fallen tributes, and in turns the Statue of Liberty into freaking Sayaka. And I think this is your very first game. I'm pretty sure it's your very first game. It could be your second, but I'm pretty sure it's your first. Do that again, and there will be a knee colliding with your jaw. Yes, very much, and it will be mine. Godot and Gatekeeper are sitting in a tree. Killing Joe. Click, 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 click. Camilla wonders what events are canon to the Danganronpa Hunger Games lore. March plants some trees. Iroh reminisces about season 3. Klee and Mana have a picnic on a cliff. Surprisingly, nothing goes wrong. Shuichi finds Shuichi finds Shuichi's hat and puts it on. He sure does, don't he? Suzu's writing a Danganronpa remake in which Yosuke is the protagonist, Steve is the antagonist, and Aku is the mastermind. Toph embraces the spring and plants roses outside of her camp. Gin sells Crazy Oak Extra Large 400 bagels, but due to the fact that Crazy Oak Extra Large cannot hold that many bagels, she gets crushed by the insane amount of bagels. The bagels, they'll always kill you in the end. Mitsurai begs for Hilda to kill him. She refuses, keeping young Mitsurai alive. Iris, Noelle, Ito, Makoto, and the Raiden Shogun hunt for other tributes. Gundam stabs La Senora, revives her with the wish ring, then repeats the process until the wish ring burns his hand. La Senora is able to run off. Pomni spends the whole day around in shoes made of Lego. She's transcended beyond humanity into some sort of amazing digital circus or whatnot. Taka grabs a table. The audience cheers in excitement. Buff Doof is working on an ad that will appear in the next Danganronpa Hunger Games. Yuma and Rindo split up, search for resources. Gozu asks LA Knight if she likes boats. LA Knight says no. Teto overhears Sarah and Sarah and Sayori talking in the distance. Kana is in the wrong Hunger Games show. Cynthia, Ribbon, look for more people to become friends with. Nekomaru offers to sell his friendship to Bowsette. Me too, Nekomaru. I don't... goated, actually. Very goated. Here, take this majority vote. You know what? Shuichi lost all of his memories earlier, so maybe he didn't even know that was his own hat. Regardless, hit that. Heather, Maruki, Asnir, Nomona, Kyutaro, and Fischl are forced to play the majority game. Fischl received the most votes, but unfortunately for the others, she was a sacrifice, so everyone else got executed. She chooses Kyutaro to be her valiant knight and rescues him from elimination, from execution. Who would have thunk? We might as well play this out, actually. Cord is confused why there's a pink Home Depot in the arena, and Nijima stabs Shantae with a sword, revives him with the first ring, and and repeats the process until they're satisfied. Just like that, Shantae is gone too, and we have lost. Oh boy! So, this might be a shorter game than I had anticipated. I guess you could say that I'm last surprised, as after opening a strange app on their phones, the troopers are transported to the metaverse. Suzy, Cynthia, Gundam Makoto perform an all-out attack on Aku, Camilla, Godot, and Buff Doof, obliterating them. 4 out immediately. Gatekeeper drives around in a car collecting flowers, passes March. Gatekeeper waves and says, "Good job!" Man, I miss that little homie, Jose. Toph and Mana theorize about whose palace this is. Bowsette, Yuma, Taka, and Kyutaro perform an all-out attack on a shadow, obliterating it, just like Sarah, Steve, and Raiden and Nekomaru do the same thing. Gozu is summoned by shadows, but is surrounded by shadows, unable to survive. The same thing happens to Arrow. They never saw him coming. Mitsurai is unable to awaken the power of Persona as they quickly picked off by the shadows as well. Iroh and Yosuke are out here theorizing. LA Knight, Rindo, Iris, and Core perform an all-out attack on and obliterating him, and that's what you get for doing that to Lady Liberty. Sayori and Gin also theorize about whose palace this is. Last thing, we're surrounded by shadows and is unable to survive. Pomni and Ito also are out here theorizing. Shuichi steals valuables from the palace. Fischl, Clea, Teto, and Nijima attack a shadow with a mysterious rattling chains. They do not survive. The Reaper has claimed their souls. Kana finds the boss of the palace, but is not powerful enough to survive, taking that information to the grave. And Noelle, driving around in a cart, collecting flowers, which is very fitting because she's wearing all these flowers. Passing Hilda by, says, "Good job," and waves. Yeah, that's half. That's more than half of our competition, technically. I never saw it coming. But you know what you did see coming? A Claire de Lune after this, and it is 4. Saya Killer, Maya, Fulgent, Noelle, Mondo, Skull, Cassius, Mew, Chisa, Joe, Crazy Yoko Extra Large, Heather, Maruki, Asnir, Nomona, Shantae, Aku, Camilla, Godot, Buff Doof, Gozu, Mitsurai, Ribbon, In, La Senora, Fischl, Clea, Teto, Nijima, Kana. Well, let's see everybody's statuses, right? We are down to 29. 29 competitors, and they are Gatekeeper and Makoto, the first 2 entries in this Rumble, and LA Knight over as the second entry on that one. Shuichi hanging in there as well. Not remembering who he is, but at least he got his hat back. Rindo, Ito, Steve, and Taka, Yuma, Kyutaro, Nekomaru, Cord, Iroh, Gundam, Gin, and Yosuke. LA Knight with Noelle, Iris, Bowsette, Sayori, and Suzy. Pomni, Raiden, Shogun, Mana, Cynthia, March 7th, Hilda, Sarah, and Toph are your final 29, but that's still larger than a standard sized game, so we might as well just go. Head on, shall we? Apply directly to the forehead. Let's proceed and we will see. Night 1, Ito is drinking his hot chocolate. It's so good that Ito doesn't stop until he dies from a sugar overdose. Gundam has a dream in which Gatekeeper is winning his premonition or something? Who would have thunk? Gin submits his application to ruin the squad. Sayori snatches the application out of his hands and rips it up. Toph loves Rindo as much as Maki loves Kokichin until a team building exercise, rather. Yosuke and Pomni tell each other what they hate about one another. Bowsette and Shuichi have a tea party together, reaching for the tea kettle. Bowsette knocks it over, spilling imaginary tea on Shuichi's lap. He doesn't remember it's not real though, so you know. It burns. It burns like the Dickens. LA Knight feels herself developing a crush for Hilda. Goated. Raiden sings a romantic song to Mana. They lean in for a tender kiss, and oh my gosh, and they see Susie filming them, which makes Raiden shout at Susie, I'm surprised she didn't go for the murderous attempt. That seems very Raiden to me, but it is what it is. Taka attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Iroh, Kyutaro, Nekomaru, and Iris tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Cynthia teaches March and Yuma how to use ice magic. Sarah commits tax evasion. Cord gets hold of my soundboard and plays Dire Docks. Steve drowns Noelle while the music is going on, killing the vibe. Gosh darn it, Steve. Love you to bits, but like, how could you do such a thing? Makoto falls into a pit and dies. Day 2 begins with Shuichi glaring at Yuma and says, do you want to die? Yuma runs away. Hilda prepares the museum for my artwork. You better believe. Susie ambushes Gundam and kills him. Cord sets LA Knight on fire with a flamethrower, and now things are starting to get violent with this. Maybe the vibe is dead. March and Bowsette hunt for their tributes. Gatekeeper decides to offer to sell his friendship to Sarah. Cynthia seems to be dead, but seems to be alive, but it's a lie. Nekomaru is sick and tired of playing nice and turns heel. Taka sets up an ice cream shack. Rindo comes and buys some. It was delicious. Mon attempts to climb a tree, falls on Sayori, taking them both out. Bullying a Yosuke, not cool. Steve, Pomni, and Kyutaro awkwardly kiss under the mistletoe. Ryan hates how she acted in the past and disgusted by what she did in the past. Wants to move past this phase of her life and become a better person. You know what? Good on you. Good learning from your past mistakes. I'm proud of you. Gin washes his hands in the river. Toph breaks down and starts weeping for an unknown reason, and Iroh tries to console her, which is almost canon, I think. I don't remember if she was crying, but close enough to canon. And Iris gets turned into a Fall Guys bean. We again, bro. We can't catch a break. From the metaverse to AV Mania. Well, they're all helping me out. It's time. It's AV Mania time. They just left the Rumble, and 2 of them are going on to AV Mania. Yuma viciously stabs Pomni and the Raiden Shogun and Susie through separate tables, leaving them all motionless. Toph and Yosuke set up the announcer's tables. Gatekeeper helps configure the Titantron. Sarah viciously slams Kyutaro, Iris, and Gin through separate tables, leaving them all motionless as well. Taka, March, and Cord push the giant Statue of Liberty into position. Steve dyes the ropes red, white, and blue. Bowsette crawls into the ring to get supplies, never heard from again. Hilda and Iroh both trip and fall all the way down the ramp, crashing into the stairs. They don't get back up. Rindo also dyes the ring ropes red, white, and blue. Nekomaru configures the Titantron, which Shuichi falls atop of. He falls, he goes, and boom, kaplat. That's what happened to him. That's unfortunate for him. However, we lost 18, so I don't think we are technically at your saving grace picks yet. Surprisingly enough, I'm shocked. Not often do we see an arena event 2 days in a row. I've had a nickel for every time that happened. I think I might have more than 2 nickels, but it might only be like 3. It's still weird that it happened just more than a handful of times. Yeah, look, hey, you want your Claire de Lune? Here, you can have it. Take it. It's yours. Ito, Noelle, Makoto, Gundam, LA Knight, Cynthia, Mana, Sayori, Pomni, Raiden Shogun, Susie, Kyutaro, Iris, Gin, Bowsette, Hilda, Iroh, Shuichi. Well, if we do a Control F and we do a live, not Alice, alive, we do indeed have 11 people left. Gatekeeper, most of them from Gin's Rumble win. We have Gatekeeper, Rindo, Yuma, Yosuke, Steve, Nekomaru, Cord, and Taka, all from here. And just the 3 remaining from the March Rumble, March being herself, could she carry that momentum even further with Sarah and Toph? Well, you can't get your saving grace picks yet, even though I feel like most people need them. So let's go on and see how this all plays out. Toph, Sarah, March, Gatekeeper, Rindo, Yuma, Yosuke, Steve, Nekomaru, Cord. Good luck. Taka, you too. Here we go. It's your final 11. When we get down to your final 10, yes, we will. Gatekeeper gets infected with a spare disease, and Gatekeeper starts clinging to Cord. Yuma is so desperate to kill Sayaka that he creates a clone out of her and killed said clone. She wasn't at. Okay, well, whatever. Taka Receive spaghetti from no known sponsor. Steve, Yosuke, and March successfully ambush Sarah, Toph, and Rindo. Those three are out, and so is Nekomaru as he bleeds out due to untreated injuries. 11 has just turned to 7. But we must proceed. In proceeding, we see not the feast, because I don't think we're going to get that until like a later day. Day 3 does see Yuma making a Danganronpa rewrite where Yosuke is the protagonist. I could see that. Cord mails Avi some brand new socks, thank you my guy. Steve signs a petition to change American T-ball to soccer. March beats Taka with a steel chair, and Gatekeeper uses Christmas magic to try and get another shot. Says, hey look, I want to redo the Rumble. I'll come out first, but now I've got a better strategy. Changes it to December. We are at your final 7, unless there's another arena event. Ha ha ha. For a second there, I thought there might have been my heart skipped a beat, and it will continue beating until I perish, which won't be after this Claire de Lune 4. Sarah, Toph, Rindo, Nekomaru. Well, let's check it out. See everybody's statuses. It's your final 7. March is the only person remaining from her Rumble win, which I think is almost fitting, and I think it's kind of goated. I'm not gonna lie. Good on you, March. It's your final 7. You might need some new picks. You definitely need some new picks. It's your Saving Grace picks. Gatekeeper, who entered at number 1, still holding on strong in this combined little Rumble. Everyone starting off at the same time. Now, Gatekeeper saying, I got this. It's all me. Steve Harvey, fan favorite, could somehow, some way. There's a timeline from this point in time where Steve Harvey becomes the Danganronpa Hunger Games champion of champions. We can see it. Taka still needs to win that title. Pardon me. Taka needs to be the one. The last title he needs is a Champion of Champions title, and this is a path to get there. Yuma is still hanging in there. Good boy, hat on his side. Just had his first season this past season in tag team action. Wants to, I don't know, maybe make a name for himself in preseason. Cord, my guy. The one and only. The one who could see through March's lies. He had eyes. We have eyes, but we'll see if he's able to win this game. Yosuke, high-flying Hanamura, as he's known in the AWE, former tag team champion in the Hunger Games as well, teaming up with Taking Out the Trash, I believe. Can he do it again? Is this going to be his opportunity to potentially become the champion of champions? Last but not least, March 7th. Set the date, because she might be the champion come, what day of the week is March 7th? That's a Thursday. Whoops. He's fired. That being said, March, good luck to you. We'll see if you can win this game, get first or second, and somehow win the championship. Who do you got, guys? First, second, and third. I'm going to make my picks as well. I got March. I think March is going to be like, you know what? This is a Rumble celebration episode. I'm going to win this one too. March, I'm taking you for first. For second, I'm going to take Yuma. I'm going to take Yuma, former tables champion. And for third, I'm going to take... I feel like I should take Gatekeeper, because I think Gatekeeper's determined. But I think he might get so close but so far. Those are my picks. Those are my top 3. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if you're right. And let's see if they all truly do have the same pulse determination and the same fate as that of a samurai woman. Final 7. Let's peek to see just how quickly this might go. We see nobody perishing here, I don't think. Gatekeeper receives spaghetti from an unknown sponsor. I told you that's his favorite, or it might not be his favorite pasta, but it's somebody's. Yuma burns down Avi's words and despairs. Yuma swears with an accident, but Yosuke believed him. I'm sorry, said it. He saw him do the whole thing because I believe Yuma more, because I mean, like, he's just a being. He would never. I'll let it slide. Cord's obnoxious snoring renders Steve, March, and Taka unable to sleep. Alright, let's see how this plays out. Still final 7, and we see March exposed to Yuma's sensitivity aura, causing her to become more emotional. Taka's tied down to a table and forced to listen to Cord's monologue about himself. Taka dies from boredom. How could you? Gatekeeper washes his hands in the river. Yosuke sleeps through the day away from everybody else, Fun fact, Steve is specifically here just to suffer. Well, I think the only one who suffered this time was Taka. No championship match for him, at least not yet. But we do get a Claire Day terrible turnabout for him, so shall we? Taka. Taka. Now we're at 6. It's still Samurai Woman, technically. In fact, I'm gonna click this and I'm gonna say, hey, it's Samurai Woman time. It's still Samurai Woman time. Gatekeeper, Steve, Cord, Yuma, and Yosuke, and then all the way in her own rumble, it's March. Let's see how it plays out. Final 6 goes down to still Final 6, actually. Gatekeeper gets more spaghetti. He deserves all the spaghetti. Give that man some spaghetti. Yosuke convinces Cord to snuggle with him. March locks Yuma in a coffin, buries him alive. But Yuma managed to escape. I mean, coffins. That'll be a thing soon. And Steve finally finishes his novel. We proceed again to day 5 as Gatekeeper raises Cord's hopes and dashes them quite expertly. Yosuke trips on a comically twisted banana peel and falls off of a cliff. That's, well, yikes. Yuma receives a knife from another sponsor and March stabs Steve with a sword, revives him over and over again until the wish ring burns her hand. Steve runs off. We are at your final 5 now. Rest in peace to high-flying Hanamura. He was high-falling off of a high cliff. It's a terrible turnabout for him. Yosuke. Well, I mean, like, yeah, it was a shame for him. Unfortunate, but that brings us now to 5. It is Gatekeeper, Steve, Cord, and Yuma, and March. 5 competitors, 1 shot. And I would be like, so I have to ask you who, but it's not going to end next turn. There's no shot. Well, I mean, there is a shot. I'm not going to say there's no shot. It very well could. I take everything I said back. That's not a jinx, I promise. If it ends next round, it's not on me. It's on you for believing that it's on me. These final 5 are all common, we would like to call within our final 5 a crisis, a full final 5, in fact, a crisis of fate. 5 competitors, 1 winner, maybe? It could be more than 1, it could be none. We have to wait and see. We haven't seen a tie in a little bit. That also could be a jinx. Gatekeeper goes to the Love Hotel with Yuma, but somehow wakes up next to Cord. March sneaks into the back room of Yoko's, but unknowingly rather, gets seen by Steve, an employee of the store, who locks the door behind her. 5 still in. And that brings us now to Gatekeeper, who shares his pancakes with Cord, and of course, I would have no grander time than to put you, dear Gatekeeper, in the World Pancake Championship match. Get in there. Oh, well, this pin is dying. Who ruined this purple pin? Goodness gracious. March wants to give Avi to give Donuts a chance. Yuma's ready for the fight before Christmas. Again, he said, I want another run in the Rumble. And Steve washes his hands in the river. We didn't lose a single okay, alright. Well, okay, game. You want 3 arena events. I guess that will be funny, right? Let me go all the way over to this one again. Okay, are you ready? We're going back to AV Mania. It's gotta be like AV Mania 8 at this point. Yuma trips and falls all the way down the ramp, crashes into steel steps, doesn't get back up. March, Gatekeeper, and Steve push that giant Statue of Liberty in position, and Cord sets up chairs for the audience. That's all she wrote in terms of that. We've just still lost 1. So give it up for the lad. Give him a Claire de Lune for the lad. It is. My bad. I'm gonna give you a terrible turnabout. There we go. That's more like it. Yuma. That brings us down to 4. See everybody's status as it's a slow grind here at the end after our fast-paced double arena event early on. Gatekeeper, Steve, Cord, and March still hanging in there, so it's still a crisis. A crisis of fate. Who's it gonna be? Let's find out. Who's your final 2, or your final 2 gonna be? That's the bigger question. Let's find out. I did breathe! And lo and behold, Steve suddenly falls over dead. Gatekeeper burns AV, swears and despairs. Gatekeeper swears to an accident, but March said she saw Gatekeeper burn it down deliberately because I believe Gatekeeper more than March. I'm gonna let this whole ordeal slide. I mean, I believe him. But Cord's sick and tired of the rivalry between Avi's and Yoko, so he burns both stores to the ground, then is swiftly killed by Avi and Yoko, and we're still cashing in on that insurance. Yeah, now, here's the fun final two here. I'm gonna very quickly ask you about who. Will it be Gatekeeper March? Gatekeeper, the #1 entrant in his Rumble, and March, the number 29 entrant in hers, and the winner of hers. Two very different paths in their Rumbles, but here they are in the final two, and both of them will be fighting for the championship, but the real question now is, who's it gonna be? Both have fought in tag team championship action before. Today they both have a shot of becoming that singles champion. Will it be the Gatekeeper? Will it be March? We'll find out together, shall we? March. Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper for Retribution. March to carry that momentum even further. That question's about to be answered right here, right now. Or will it be both? Or neither? Keep that in mind too, because it for sure could happen. Will it happen? Did I jinx it to happen? We proceed to see no. Instead, it's Gatekeeper saying, hey, I need people to remember who I am. It may seem like I've lost a step since winning the title. It may seem I've lost a step since becoming Converge, but I'm still a him. I'm still Gatekeeper, and he winds up. He delivers the beefiest of punches to March as she goes flying off of a cliff, and he screams to the heavens, "Punch Club forever!" and nothing to report to the heavens above. And so, it is with great honor that after this final terrible turnabout of the episode 4, Steve, Cord, March, that we can lean back and say, #1 entrant, last man standing. It's hard to do in a Rumble, but here, he did it quite easily. Your winner. So far away from winning his Rumble, but did so decisively here today. Because when everyone starts at the same time, maybe Gatekeeper said, as long as I've got equal footing, I'm that guy to deal with. Congratulations, your Rumble Retribution. Gatekeeper takes the win. And that is all she wrote. We'll proceed one more time. Gatekeeper, once again, won the whole thing. You'll love to see it. March, who was your winner, got second place, but hey, that's still a W. She gets to go to that championship match. Will she be walking out as a champion of champions? We'll see. We'll see about that. Right now, her tag team partner, I believe, is she still with My Hero? I'm pretty sure. They might break up this season, but we'll see about that. Tag team partner has a pancake championship. Could she walk out as the champion of championships? We have them at the start as your top two, all the way down Psykiller in last place. Cord, Steve, Yuma, Yosuke, Taka, Nekomaru, Rendo, and Toph, your top 10. We are going to spend a whole bunch of time here because there's more content coming out today, actually. Teto took out Psykiller with a sickle. Psykiller's going to be fuming at XSP about that one. And all the way down here, Gatekeeper punches March off of a cliff, cementing his retribution and saying, "Punch Club forever." Maybe we'll bring back the Retribution Rumble this season. I think that was a fun little gimmick. That being said, we'll proceed one more again. Start off at the top, we had Gatekeeper all the way down to Psykiller, we already said that, but our 6 KOs went to Susie, Cord, Cynthia had 5, Iris with 5, Gundam, LA Knight, Makoto, March 7th, Rendo and Steve all had 4, Yosuke with 3, Gatekeeper 3, Gin with 3, everyone else, I'm sorry, Gatekeeper and Gin with 2, everyone else with 1 or none. That is all she wrote, and most importantly, we know who's going on. This Friday, we learned that it's the Gatekeeper on March 7th heading to that premiere, but that's not the only thing that we're going to learn today on this Friday, because Wednesday is going to be bringing you another installment, the last installment of Friday Night Fracture before Valentine's Violence. And so, you know, I like to give you the little preview of everything that's gonna happen tonight. It's gonna be a big fight feel as our semifinals for the no, wrong. That's incorrect. My bad. For the Royal Crown Tournament will commence. We'll have our finals at Valentine's Violence, and the winners of those finals on the very same night will have a championship opportunity against Eggman and Hina, respectively. That being said, our semifinals do consist of Queen, who's had a voyage to get to where she is. And it also, Queen Makoto Nijima, who's had a voyage to get where she is, having to outlast former champion Paimon, had to outlast former champion Boss, and now has to outlast Camilla, one of the most dominant champions in AWE history. And we know Camilla wants that title back. But that being said, that's the semifinal match number 1. On the other side, number 2, we see a battle between two allies, silly little resistance. It is going to be Arrow, and it's going to be Queen, the robot one, going 1v1. And Queen proved to be a dominant force. Arrow has spunk. Could Arrow survive Queen? That will be the story we look at. And of course, we have our small beans battling Ryoma, Chihiro, both going 1-on-1 in a glorious match. In fact, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind indeed. Those small boys will be going toe-to-toe. But the man who won this episode will also be fighting young Mitarai tonight. Will the momentum that Gatekeeper have be too much for young Mitarai? We also have 2 Big Tables Championship qualifiers, 1 Big Tables Championship match as Steve Harvey puts his title up on the line against Zero. And, well, there's a tag team match, and it's our last championship qualifying match, and it is Coldest Day versus Kuzu Soda in the main event. That's a big card. That is gonna be a good one, and it'll solidify pretty much everything that we don't know about Valentine's Violence tomorrow. But tonight is a can't miss edition of Friday Night Fracture. Wednesday we'll see you all tonight. Toodaloo Flight Crew. Thanks for watching.